welcome back to another episode of Keeping It Orange and Blue. Back-to-back episodes on Monday. It works out for both of us. Thanks for tuning in. What's up, Kevin? Glad to have you back.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to be back. So,
Yeah, not tons going on, Kevin, but enough where I felt like, some weeks, if there's just nothing, you could be able to take a week off. College football's coming, but camp's kicking off, so it feels like I think it's important. I think they're in day 3 or 4 right now, Kev, right?
Yeah,
camp.
Day 3, yeah.
Yeah, so far, pretty fingers crossed, pretty healthy, I think. Kevin, it was messaging me a day or two ago about, I guess, J.C. Davis has got like a walking boot on, but I'm from everything I'm told, it's precautionary. So
yeah, I heard that, read up today that it's probably plantar fasciitis, and as someone who's dealt with plantar fasciitis, both feet, fun stuff. Just a little bit of rest goes a long way with that. And obviously, getting it at 40 is a lot different than getting it at 22, 23 years old. So, and it's one of the things, like, you can play through plantar fasciitis. It's probably not ideal, depending on the severity of it. But, him getting in a walking boot, restricting his movements and keeping his feet where they're at, then it should be okay. He should be all right. So,
but for the most part, precautionary. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like it's where he's like, this dude can't play August 29th if he doesn't rest for 2 weeks. It's like, it's just, might as well try to save some mileage. I feel like it's smart. You saw Desmond Schuster hanging out with him, right? I mean,
yeah,
just kind of there. I think he's no contact with him, correct?
That's correct. Yeah. I don't really know what the word is on Schuster, but I think, like you said, I think most of this stuff is precautionary. So,
what's up, Jay Bagan? Glad to have you back. You've been slacking on joining us live, so glad to have you back in the comments. Jason, what's up? The Kool-Aid Man. But yeah, Jay Bagan, we're talking about Illinois football and the top 12 of the coaches poll. I think the AP poll is going to come out, what, you think, in the next week or so, Kev?
Yeah, I think maybe even tomorrow is my guess. Normally
okay.
Steph with one another.
I'm excited for that. I think they'll be back in the top 15. I think they'll be top 15-ish probably for the but we'll get into that, what it means, what the fact that you've got other coaches, who vote on this stuff. And this is a lot of coaches who are in big-time programs. I think the fact that they're respecting Illinois to that degree is a good thing. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Mihailo Petrovic from across the world, I think from Croatia, joining David Mirkovic and the Ivisic twins, along with Andrej Stojakovic, who will be, the all-Euro top 5, right?
Yeah.
Especially with Ty Rogers, who we did see. A good sign, though, right, Kev? With like a knee brace on, still kind of like dribbling or doing some stuff in the gym. I think if it was a torn ACL, I don't think he'd be even close to doing anything like that, right?
Well, yeah, I thought the same thing. I talked to a couple doc friends. Matter of fact, I had a doc over last night. So she's a PA, but she deals with I don't know what's the word, legs, arms, and feet, hands and feet, legs, arms, hands and feet, whatever. And she said that something like that, and I showed her pictures, because of the extent of the brace from like mid thigh to ankle. That is typically what you would have post ACL surgery. So I don't know for sure. It's kind of weird. It'll be nice if we could look at the front end of the front of his knee on the knee brace. You can see whether or not there's a scar there. But I'm not holding out any hope that it's. I think it's going to be an ACL, and most likely most of the seasons, if not all. So.
Yeah, and I mean, they don't have any reason to hold it. Like, what reason do they have to hold it? Wait and tell everybody like the end of October. They could just say it whenever. You're right. Like,
yeah, I mean, honestly, it was funny. I spent the weekend with some friends. One of them was a OU student trainer when he was at Oklahoma, back when Adrian Peterson played there. And he talked about how they were taught to be tight-lipped. I think it's impressive, and it's a feather in the cap of Brad Underwood and his staff that they haven't let that out. And frankly, it's a HIPAA violation, and it's Ty Rodgers' business of whether or not he wants people to know. So who knows with this one? So maybe there's some slight hope to come back. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I guess January, February would be 8 or 9 months, right?
Yeah.
It'd be 8 months. So I highly doubt he wants to do the whole Luke Goody thing and blow a whole season.
Right, exactly.
Of eligibility and play a month and a half. But, we'll see. Maybe he doesn't want to play college basketball 2 more years after this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he can collect more dollars, but maybe he's just like, hey, if I can play this year, I want to finish this year out and play 1 more year, and I'm ready to move on. Like, sometimes that's just how it is.
But I also think about the wonders that a 60-year Ty Rodgers could bring from a leadership standpoint, coach on the floor standpoint, and just physicality standpoint. So
hopefully he's the same guy too with his athleticism.
Right, yeah. I mean, just what sucks is if he loses 2 years of playing consecutively, it's just got to pull at your soul a little bit. But
you know what?
I was the first teammate last year.
That's Tracy Abrams stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we had 24-year-old Tracy Abrams because we missed him for 2 whole years. It's almost like you forgot who he was, what he brought to the table when you don't see him for 2 years. You know.
Yeah, it was an interesting run with Tracy Abrams.
Yeah. Hey, I like Tracy Abrams at the end of the day.
Yeah. He actually kind of found a stroke from 3 as a senior, if I recall.
Yeah, he had a really good senior season. Yeah, he had a good first couple years at Illinois. He had a weird 3rd year and a very good 6th season. So, but yeah, anyway, that's the newest kind of update I guess we've seen and heard on Ty Rodgers. But things are looking really well for the international prospects who have either all made it to campus or who the team has announced. So with them announcing Petrovic, that's a good sign that they feel really confident. They've got some really big time visits coming up. I think, as you know, Kev, you said the staff's being kind of tight lipped. They're really not wanting to announce who they have coming for visits either. So I do know in October, I'm pretty sure it'll be for the Ohio State game. They've got some big visits and visitors lined up for October 11th. So, it would be cool if we can get 1 or 2 of them to swing by the old podcast tailgate, right?
What game? I mean, why wouldn't you want to go there, right? That weekend, that's the place. That's the place to be. So,
potential future NIL deals could also impact why they're tight-lipped right now.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that we can get a guest on the show. Been working that on my end. So, but and
as much as I'd love to interfere, though, Kev, I'm going to let you do that because I usually work all the interviews and I do all the crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and getting it all taken care of. What's up, Reese? Big Thirsty, what's happening? Illa fucking Noizovic. I love that. Love the name. Guys, you're tuned in. We appreciate you guys. If you're on X, retweet it. And if you are on X, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, we appreciate that. That's slowly growing. We're getting closer to 1,000, and it's kind of irritating how so many people will watch on X, though. But yet on YouTube, it's just like a slow build and grind to get up there. But it happens. Line Dave looks like he's got a question for you, Kev.
I wish I could, brother. Wish I could. I just well, hey, listen. Let's turn to the positive, right? Illinois preseason ranked 12th in the coaches poll that came out today. First time since 2008 being in the preseason poll. So I know that you and I, Ryan, we were bullish on the 23 team. They obviously let us down. Thought that team probably should have been ranked. They proved that we were wrong, and that is to not get your first ranking in preseason poll in 17 years, and it's 12. There's a lot of hype around Illinois, and I've been reading up a lot of stuff about it. Are they this year's fool's gold and things like that? And I've been digging in, Ryan, and I've been thinking about the season. I am, and we'll get into like our full-fledged picks and things there, but it's an interesting season here in that you've got some things that Illinois just has to take care of that for some seasons they haven't, right? And the road game at Duke early on, I've heard people call it a trap game, and I'm going to share my thoughts on that. I don't think it's a trap game. I don't think you can have a trap game between Western Illinois and Western Michigan. I just don't see how that's a trap game. Number two is Duke was a 9-win team a year ago, if I can recall correctly.
Yeah.
If you're sleeping on a 9-win team, a Manny Diaz 9-win team, that doesn't bode well for you. And number three, that was a team that lost. That got votes in the poll, right? They got votes in the top 25 poll today, if I recall correctly. So they, 4 of 6 games, 4 of last 6 games of season at home, last 5. Dave, I'm trying to keep up with this. Last 5 games, yeah. It's just there's a huge. It's just really exciting to have what Robert Rosenthal claimed August syndrome, where you just had this false level of hype and you were hyping guys up. But it goes back to what we talked about in the last 2 episodes, where we looked at guys in the overall depth that this team has. And it's something that I don't think – it's certainly never something we've never had since we've had this show, Ryan. And frankly, I can't recall since I started really dissecting Illinois football in my adulthood. We would probably have to go back to like 1988, 89, 90, where we had this level of depth across the board. I'm hearing about nose guard position battles. We're down. Aiden Knapkett's not practicing. J.C. Davis isn't practicing, but we got 2 other guys that are stepping up, and there's just a lot of depth here that just gives you confidence to go into a season. And I keep going back to it. I know some people think Bill Connolly thinks that the teams that win close games, 1-score games from the previous year, seem to have a little bit of a call back to earth the next year. Well, I think when you have a quarterback like Luke Altmaier and the continuity of staff like Illinois has, I don't think that's going to be the case. I also, frankly, don't think we're going to be in as many 1-score games. I don't think we're going to be in a 1-score game with Purdue. I don't think we're going to be in a 1-score game with Rutgers or Maryland or Northwestern. I just don't, or Wisconsin even, to tell you the truth. I think I was looking at the schedule today. I wouldn't be surprised if we roll up to Madison and they're 3-7. So it's a situation where this team has to take care of business. Duke is a huge game. I do worry about Indiana. I think that's a really good Indiana team. They've got stars at all 3 levels on defense.
They've got an all-pro cornerback. They have an all-pro defensive edge rusher. They've got an all-pro all-conference offensive lineman, and they've got all-conference wide receivers. But I will
from Cal, who's a good player,
Yeah, he is, but I don't think he's not as accurate and as he didn't take care of the ball as well as Rourke did last year. 16-6 isn't terrible, but he had some fumbles in some big games, and he really had a rough game against Miami last year when they were up by 28 and they blew it. And in 15 minutes you lose like a 28-point lead. He was terrible in that 4th quarter. The point is that he's shown some moments where he has some real judgment issues at times, especially in close games. But anyway, it's very going to be a very close. Probably I wouldn't be shocked if Indiana is a 1 or 2 point favorite, but that's going to be a top 15 battle, Kevin. So that's probably that'd be one of the games. That might be one of the games of that week, So
because Indiana's first 3 games they play Urbana High School, Stephen Decatur, and then Uni High.
The running Rebels, baby. Okay, yeah, the running Reds. Stephen Decatur, man, Tyrese Bryson, and all those guys. Yeah,
Watson play, man. Saw him in person.
Yeah, dude. The real deal. You forgot the Jacksonville School for the Blind.
Yes. Indiana will be undefeated when we play that game for sure. I do like Illinois' chances going to Duke. I've got confidence in not back there. So it's just one of those things that when I also think that when you look at the Vegas numbers, you have to work this in. It's like going to Duke is a tough game. At Indiana is a tough game. USC is a tough game. Ohio State obviously is a very tough game. And Washington has won 21 or 20 games in a row at home, and you have to go out that way. Thank goodness we get a bye before that. But really, it's going to be the first 4 weeks of the season, in my opinion. Illinois needs to come out of that 3-1 if you really want to have a chance for a college football playoff. 4-0 would be great. 4-0 would give you a chance for game day or big game kickoff.
So, and I want to kind of, some of you people saw me on the Bet MGM Network show, Bet Sweats, and I picked Illinois. It's 8-4 is the floor. And you know why I did that? And I want to say people are like, so 7.5 is Illinois' number right now. And why do I think that that would really have to mean, Kevin, that Illinois loses pretty much every big game? I just can't see that.
Right.
For them to go 7-5 this year, Illinois literally has to just lose every tough game. And is that really likely? No.
You think about little things that have occurred, right? Luke Altmaier's put on 20 pounds. That's a fight. Gabe Akis is down 15. Well, why can Gabe Akis be down 15? Because they got more faith and depth in the defensive line that they're not thinking that they're going to have to play him as a down lineman very much, right? They did play him sometimes last year as a down lineman, the past 2 years. So he can do what he does best and come off that edge and be a little faster. Dude, he was one of the 20-mile-an-hour club, which was pretty cool. So there's just things about this team that, and when you can find a way to generate pressure on the court, you got a healthy Kenenna Odeluga, you got a healthy Daniel Brown, you got Lowry, Tumajai Adeniji, whatever you say his name. Like, that guy is a beast. He's looking like he might start. So, and then you got,
and let me just tell you, and Alec Bryant was coming on strong last year. He played really well to end the season.
Yeah, Tommy Durajai. I couldn't say his name for a second. So he's probably going to start on the defensive line.
Already, you're hearing reports already, Kev, that he's already looking like he could start with James Thompson.
I think that they're just really impressed with how big he is. It's like 6'6", 300 pounds, and when we could go those two guys and then Angelo McCollum, Curtis Neal, Jeremiah Warren as your starting front, that's a big starting front. So. Yeah, like Brandon Lambie said, the defense is going to be fast and confident this year and very flexible. Exactly. I agree with that. And so I think that was the aspect of last year where we were just we would get gashed in the run game a little bit and keep guys on the field too long. I don't see that being a problem this year. So that's why I have some confidence rolling into Duke.
But I will say the Indiana game, Kevin, maybe you agree, though. If you want to look at the first 3 games, Illinois is going to be more tested, though, than Indiana. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, I mean, Uni High.
Because they're going to be you have a road. Yeah, you have a road game against a good team. So.
Yep. Yeah, but like I said, it'll be a tough one. They'll be fired up for it. It'll be fun. So it's just exciting to look at the season and see people talk about us. And listen, one reason why the Vegas line is what it is, and I don't think people can draw too much into this, is that Illinois is not a name in college football yet, and so people. The idea of Vegas is they want 50% to bet the over and 50% to bet the under, and they win 10% on both bets, and they're good to go. And okay, cool, whatever. But the fact is that 8-4 would still be a really good season. That's one of the things I'm trying to deal with. Some of Illinois fans' expectations are like, I'm worried this year is going to be a disaster. I asked the people who are watching tonight, or who are tuned in live, who are chiming in, if we go 8-4, is that a disaster season?
No.
I mean, 8 wins is not a disaster season to me at all.
No, I would say this, though. I think anything less than that, I would feel was a down year with this much talent.
Barring something weird, like Luke Altmaier sprains his ankle and can't play against USC, right? Or can't play at Wisconsin, right? There's things like that happen and could really throw you for a loop. But listen, I'm an Illinois fan. I've been an Illinois fan for 40-plus years. Going to a bowl game is a successful season regardless. So,
yeah, I think – but Kevin agrees, though, Brandon. Let's say that everything goes health-wise is great. Illinois ends up 7-5, and they just can't win a big one. I think, that's disappointing. Yeah.
And I said it on the show last week, I think Memorial Stadium is going to be a different beast this year. And so that's why I've got a little bit more confidence in the USC game. Our home field advantage really hasn't been much in the years, right? We lost to Eastern Michigan one year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We lost the whole season. And
we lost
Eastern Michigan, right?
Don't even get me going on the Rod Smith and play calling that game.
Oh, Josh Bebe tried to keep us in that one. So, it's one of those things that I think that Memorial Stadium is not going to be a place where people are just going to. I mean, I firmly expect 7 sellouts. I do.
Yeah.
And
I agree. It's going to be a fun experience this year. They've added some new things renovation wise. I think they're going to, if all goes well this year and there's more success and the sellouts, I think they're going to eventually renovate that horseshoe, man. I just feel like it's coming. So.
Got to get it closer to the field, right? Got to get folks closer to the action of what's going on. So,
yeah, there's just too much excitement. I think. What are we now? 25 days away, Kev. Yeah, 25 days away from the kickoff.
Yeah, 3 weeks from Friday, right?
Yep. 3 weeks from Friday, so we're getting there. The SC, Dave says the F's. Brandon said Illinois figured out something in the South Carolina bowl game that will carry over into this year. I agree with that too. I felt like, in years past, Illinois loses that game, because it's like, man, you had so many moments where you got to go get a score, but then you got to get a stop, right? And then you got to go run the clock out, and man, they did it all.
Bill Mosby, PJ Fleck's been to 6 straight bowls. We haven't been to 3 in a row since when? If you take out 2020, then that's fair. Yeah, we haven't been to 3 straight bowl games since early 90s. So,
yeah, no doubt. It's a real thing. Just the fact that Illinois now is put into this moment of where it's like the media is hyping them up. No, coaches are in belief. Most fans are in belief mode. It's like, can this team not think, too much into it? Because I think, Kevin, we've talked about it. It seems like Illinois' best years in the last 30 years are when there is no expectation, right?
Yeah, but I think the biggest difference for that is the last time there was expectation in Illinois coming into the season, not necessarily at this level, but close, would have been the Makovic era. And what's the difference is that we have a bona fide guy who knows how to coach college football. I just don't think you can look. I would challenge anybody to look at those previous seasons where we had a lot of the hype rolling into the season and ask yourself. Now, granted, I was the idiot here in 2023 who said 10-2. If I would have looked at the depth on the defensive line, the defensive backs, the changeover in quarterback play, there were a lot of things I just didn't give enough credit for. But now, if you go back and look at when Illinois had expectations coming back in the season, really analyze the depth, analyze the continuity at quarterback, at head coach, at coordinator, offensive line. The one thing we don't have a lot of continuity is in defensive line, but I honestly think that Terrence Jameson might be our best position coach. So, and you've got Brett Bielema here. And we've got good coordinators, and we kept almost all the staff. I just have a lot more faith that Illinois is not going to just completely shit the bed and have a 2009 level season or a 2002 level season, which were two of just unbelievably dark seasons in Illinois football history. 2008, 2009. 2009. Go look at the roster in 2009. The number of guys.
The fact that they gave away a home game to go play at Ford Field was just dumb.
Mm-hmm.
That just to me spelled disaster. I'm glad that game wasn't on TV. I was listening to it and I couldn't even believe it.
I paid for it. I was down in Florida. I paid for it. And St. Dom, he chimed in. He's excited about Trimble and Malik Elzy. Malik Elzy is supposedly popping and running with the ones right now, by the way. From what I've heard from what little media we can understand, Malik Elzy in his physicality is jumping off the page. I'll stand on this. I think he's got the best run after the catch ability to break tackles. since Aurelius Ben. So, and Dom, I agree with you there. I stand on that completely. I'm not going to repeat the comment because I don't want to get sued for libel, but yeah, I agree with that. So we, it's just exciting. So Ryan, I do have a recruiting question for you. It's a recruiting question that popped up to me a couple minutes before the show started. Was it Myshawn Johnson Cook? Myshawn Cook, the kid from Decatur.
Myson. Yeah. I know. Yeah, give me a sec here. He's Myson Cook. Yeah, I was just talking to.
He left DeSoto Tech, so he played his freshman season in Decatur.
Myson Johnson Cook. Yes, he left Decatur MacArthur's from his freshman year. He went to DeSoto, Texas, his sophomore year, and now he's transferring to East St. Louis to be a Flyer. And Darren Sunkett's program and team, who, of course, Illinois has Terry Hawthorne on staff.
Right.
So there's going to be a deep connection there. And I talked to him. I talked to him, and he told me that the Illini are still recruiting him, and he still has interest. So, even though everybody's like, he's not coming, he's going to SEC school. Yeah, just don't worry about it. He's going to SEC school. It's like, you know what? In years past, I probably would have been like, you know what? I believe you. But you know what? Things have changed a little bit with how Illinois' program changed. Yeah, and the fact that Illinois was his first offer, and he grew up and lived 30 minutes from Champaign. So, we need to get Kevin to drink the Kool-Aid. Kevin drinks plenty of Kool-Aid. He's also a realist about specific things. So,
oh man, I mean, dude, I'm buying college football to play. I'm trying to get to the Indiana game. I'm trying to get to the Wisconsin. I'm going to the Wisconsin game. Found out tonight we're making that happen. So, I'll be home for the Ohio State game. Going to the Northwestern game. I've got season tickets. I've got 6 tickets to 4 games this season. So like I'm all in on the Kool-Aid, man. So
you're officially coming to the Northwestern game.
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm going to try to make a road trip, and I think Indiana is going to be the one. So if you're interested,
I'm trying to work something out for work to make I put that up. So.
I get it.
Hey, Bill Moe had a statement about Colin Dixon, and I am not knocking Colin Dixon. I love Colin Dixon. Colin Dixon does some phenomenal things. First of all, he's probably the best blocker on the team. He's got great hands. He makes big plays in big situations. The thing for me for Colin Dixon is he just doesn't have like the Malik Elzy has that pure level of explosivity that can be a game changer, and we're waiting to see it happen. We know that Colin Dixon is going to produce Billy Moe. I'm not knocking that. There's just this untapped potential in Malik Elzy that we're kind of waiting to see happen. So that's more so it with Malik. If you told me who would I count on more this year, I'm choosing Colin Dixon 10 times out of 10. So, and yeah, the Illini Dave Hudson Clement is going to make some noise. Absolutely. Hudson Clement had more yards and more touchdowns at the same point in his career than Pat Bryant did. So, like, he is an exceptional athlete. He can run after the catch. He will make plays for this team.
And me and Kev, don't take it the wrong way, but we're super excited to see the all white boy package on offense. That's going to be interesting too to see. You're going to have Tanner Arkin, Cole Rusk, lined up at tight end. Kafka Jones, Hudson Clement,
and Aiden Lawfrey.
Aiden Lawfrey in the backfield. I think that might throw some teams for a loop because they're going to be like, "Oh, we're going to shut this down."
Hey, by the way, some things that have popped up from a tight end perspective. Stoffel at tight end is impressing. Really good blocker, and so is Abney. So those guys, and I guess they look the part. So
bring out the Sterling Whites.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though they added some more athleticism with Stoffel at the tight end position. So
Yeah, he's kind of in between Rusk and Arkin, maybe. So
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I guess Arkin's just been dominant in the blocking scheme so far. That's just such a benefit and nice thing to have.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's exactly what this team needs and can use. I'll be interested to see how Fagan looks. I'm sure he's got no contact for a little bit, but just getting to see him out there. And you know what? I'm excited to see Jordan Anderson at the tight end position, Kev. So
I have no doubt that Barry Lenny Jr. is going to have some packages in for him. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I think next week maybe we'll see if we can get Matty McCumber on. I'll see if he'd be interested, or you work your interview. I think is it who we talked about last week, Kev?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be a fun one. I think fans will love to hear from him. If you need any help with it, just let me know. I can shoot him a DM as well. It's not going to be that difficult. We could do Sunday night. We could do Monday night, whatever works for him. That shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah, I imagine we could pull off Sunday night a little bit easier for my conversation with him today. So.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. So we'll do that. Not tons necessarily going on right now. Yeah, we'll answer a couple more questions and we'll get to final thoughts right now. Caden, Aiden, and Valentine. I would say Aiden 1, Caden 2, Valentine 3, probably. With all that, just from what you've seen and what we've heard. And yes, they're going to give Fagan the ball, but I think Aiden Laughery's earned the number 1 spot. I think if you watched last year against Michigan, the end of the year and big moments when they went to McCray, but Laughery was right in there with them. So, yeah. Kev, anything in particular tonight? I'll let you go first, and it doesn't have to be a super long thing or a rush thing, but you have any final thoughts for tonight?
I do, Ryan. Actually, I was in the shower this morning where some of the thoughts pop into my head, and I understand that Mac Resetich is on his 3rd number in 3 years.
Okay.
Mac went from 47 to 26 to 0. And listen, I'm not knocking Mac. I'm not knocking your choice, buddy. I appreciate it. But Mac Resetich, you had a golden number that so fit who you were when you started out at Illinois, number 47. And Illinois has had a long run of Illinois running backs who wear number 5. Why not go to some under-recruited players on the defensive side who are starting to pop and wear 47? Because 47 was an under-recruited kid from Illinois who turned into be an All-American. And he did it with grit and work and hustle and tenacity and underappreciated athleticism. If that doesn't sound like Mac Resetich to you, Mac Resetich to me is a lot more 47 than he is 0, which is some kind of flashy college football number. Everybody wants single digits now. So once again, I'm not knocking Mac Resetich. I love the kid. I think he's phenomenal. I think it's really unfortunate that he's playing behind 2 really tenured safeties. He's not going to see the field as much as he would in previous seasons for Illinois. He's still going to see the field plenty. But Mac Resetich, go back to 47, kid. Let's make it a tradition. Let's get some dudes wearing 47. Hey, Tanner Eckel, maybe you want to wear 47. Nothing says you can't.
Sounds like we'll be seeing some Tanner Eckel, huh? Right?
Oh, I think so. By the way, and I want Mihailo Petrovic to wear 77. He can be the Red Grange of the hardwood. So
yeah, I love that he was wearing 77. That's
I hope so. I hope he does.
That's interesting. Yeah. So for my final thought, mainly it's where we're at with both programs. It's exciting time, Kev. An exciting time, not just with football season here, but hoops. I think both teams will probably be ranked to start the season. Illinois clearly going to be a top 15 team. Basketball just 2 or 3 months away from kicking in. I'm sure they'll be a top 20 team. Yeah, it's a great time to be an Illini fan.
Speaking of 47.
Yeah.
Today is Josh Whitman's 47th birthday.
Jay Lehman.
Right, that's what was my point. But today is Josh Whitman's 47th birthday. So if you're talking about all the programs and where they've come, it's a big kudos to the Illini AD. Really appreciate what he's done. So while you were talking about both programs, I had to say something. So
Yeah, no doubt. That's actually a good catch right there. I don't know how I didn't know that, but yeah, having Josh Whitman as the athletic director has been one of the biggest and best things to happen for our fandom, our passion, and it's a great time right now to have an Illini podcast. And so, I mean, it just is. I was, Sam Panayotовich, a good friend of mine, he was like saying, like, listen, in years past, why would anyone be worried about what Illinois' over under is, But you know what? It matters now because the national, like you're a playoff contender. Like it's just a legit thing and it's a surprise thing, but people believe in them. And I want to say this, I actually bought, and it's been fun to read and look at, and I've been using it for Illinois' opponents. So I bought the Phil Steele book, 2025. He's a believer in Illinois. He's got them at 17 in his power index.
That's fair.
So, yeah. So, and it's, if you guys don't have a copy, I went to Barnes and Noble and bought a copy. I just wanted to get a nice, they've got one with Gabe Akis on it, by the way. And it's got a full breakdown of every team in the country, their strengths, their weaknesses, who's coming back, projected starters, their schedule from this year, their schedule from last year. And he's got Illinois at 17. So Phil Steele knows his shit.
Well, yeah, you understand that when you look at a power index, you can look at some teams out there that might actually be ahead of Illinois in the power index. I bet Florida is probably ahead of Illinois in the power index.
Indiana's at 16. So for everybody
that's okay. But if you look at Florida ahead of Illinois in the power index, that's cool. But then go look at Florida's schedule and tell me if you think they're going to end up with a better record, right?
No, you're true. And Illinois, there's a chance that Florida, even with DJ Lagway, doesn't go to a bowl game because their schedule's so tough.
It's brutal, man.
It's like 5-7, and that would be like, wow, you guys won 5 games. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the question popped up like, whose ceiling's higher, Illinois or Florida? And like, Florida's ceiling is higher, but Illinois' floor is a lot higher because of Florida's brutal schedule. So, and Illinois has to take advantage of this. You've got a lot of seniors, you've got a lot of guys back, you got a senior quarterback back, you've got all your coaches, all the things that we've talked about over and over again. You've got a schedule that sets up. The reason why it would be disappointing to have an 8-4 year is this is honestly a year that we can make the college football playoff, and we can take advantage of it. And it's funny, as I was thinking about this, the rise of Illinois and Indiana have kind of supplanted who Northwestern and Purdue have been in years past at certain times. The thing is that Illinois and Indiana get the opportunity to potentially play in the college football playoff. Indiana took advantage of it last year. We need to do it this year, where Northwestern and Purdue never got that opportunity. This is what you have to do. You have to stand on it and go make that happen. Therefore, you cannot take any game lightly. So.
We appreciate you, Dave. We appreciate everybody that tunes in here for us. This is why we do it. Hot take: Illinois is getting 2 first-round NFL picks this year. It's possible. One thing I wanted to say before I end this: Todd McShay was at the Manning camp. Everybody. Super impressed with Luke Altmaier. He said he could easily see him being a 2nd or 3rd round pick this year if he's slinging the ball like he was at the Manning camp. He sees the size he's added to him. I think his confidence is at an all-time high, and that just spells great things for Illinois. You just need that health. And yes, the dream would be for Illinois to get inside that top 8 so they could host a playoff game right before Christmas. And I have a hard time finding out how Kev wouldn't make his way back to Champaign for that.
Oh, you know it, dude. So
yeah, I know he'd figure it out. But so a lot of fun things going on. I'm part of CFP Talk Daily now. I do their podcast with them. We're going to be previewing the Big Ten, so that episode will be coming out sometime this week. And yes, I do think the Big Ten has overtaken the SEC, so that has bit some SEC fans a little bit in the ass, but they'll get over it. Kev, what do you think? You think the Big Ten has surpassed the SEC?
I think there's a really good chance that the Big Ten hangs another banner this year from a national championship perspective. I think Arch Manning,
3 in a row.
I think Arch Manning's a little overrated. I think, Now, listen, I don't know that Illinois can do it, but I still think that SEC is probably better from top to bottom. But I think over time you're going to see it. Colin Cowherd has gone on a rant about this. He's talking about Alabama and Auburn hold car washes to drive NIL funds. He even said Illinois in this. He's like, Illinois calls CEOs of Fortune 500 companies in Los Angeles and New York and in Chicago. Like, there's just a difference with Big Ten grads compared to SEC grads. You go look at the quality of education in the SEC compared to the Big Ten, it is not the same. So therefore, you have better suited grads to go take on high-level jobs and drive more money in those programs. If the Big Ten hasn't surpassed the SEC now, they will soon.
All right. Sounds good. Again, appreciate you guys. That'll do it for this week's episode. We'll probably be back this Sunday. We'll get that interview set up, and I think it'll be one you guys are going to care about. So, swap me out. We'll talk soon.
ILL.